All right, so today I am here with Heidi, and I wanted Heidi to come on and share her story because, one, I found it very inspirational, and we kind of did some experimenting together when we started working together because we didn't know that you were going to have the cancer diagnosis. It just kind of came upon us. So we had to kind of like plan a little bit and change things a little bit. But I wanted you to just share with people that are recently diagnosed, people that want to understand what the cancer battle is like and how you can actually take control of some parts of your life during that process.
Okay, I'm happy to be here and happy to share my stories. I can start back. I was originally diagnosed in October of 2017, if I can go back that far. And I'm just going along living my life, and all of a sudden, it just hits you. So, diagnosed with HER2 negative, ER and PR positive. So, and it was invasive carcinoma, lobular breast cancer is what I was diagnosed with. And it's a scary journey. Not going to lie about that. I went through chemo for 16 weeks. And then I decided to have a double mastectomy. I said I wasn't coming back here. I wasn't going to do this ever again. And so I proceeded through that. So in May of 2018, I had that particular surgery and continued on with medications as instructed and tried to do my best. And I knew I needed to eat healthy, and I met with a nutritionist, but that didn't really work for me. So I continued to gain weight out of stress and whatnot. And then here I am a few years later, in July of 2025, I was diagnosed again, this time with metastatic, stage 4, HER2 negative. And it was just kind of a shock because I was tested and told there was only a 6.4% chance of recurrence. So this was quite a surprise to me. I was still overweight. Again, just living my life. But at the same time I was diagnosed, I started speaking and working with Tieva, and it couldn't have been a better time because I could not find, there's all kinds of information on how you should eat healthy and whatnot, but I just couldn't find one that was good for me and being a cancer patient as well. So again, I believe there's a higher power that brought us together at the same time. So Tieva was kind enough to work with me until I got through my radiation treatments this particular time. And 35 pounds just came off, and I felt so much better. And it's amazing when you're not in denial that things you're eating are the culprit. And the anti-inflammatory benefits are just phenomenal. And and here I am today.
Touch base a little bit on that because, well, actually, let me go back for a second because I want to touch on something that you said that's super important because I hear it all the time. Doctors are there to get you out of pain. They're trying to solve a problem. So when you go in, they're not necessarily focused on all the things and pieces that go into solving that problem. They're very zeroed in on what their specialty is and doing their job to the best of their ability. So I've had tons of people say, they said just, eat a whole foods diet, Google it. So there's all kinds of things out there you can do for nutrition wise. But that's a lot of information. You're going through the diagnosis, you're going through treatment, you're going through what does life look like at that point in time. So not always is it that easy to just Google it, print something out and be like, I'm going to eat this way. You really do need some guidance. And for somebody to be like, this is what anti-inflammatory does. This is why it works. This is why you're going to eat this way. Because just eating healthy isn't even cutting it anymore. You really have to have some knowledge about label reading, about looking at different products and how your body responds to those items. So that's the first. The second is, I remember you and I talking about even your dentist making note that your gums were no longer inflamed, being on the whole food diet. So talk about a little bit of, I guess, some of the other things that you saw. And your incision, I think you said, healed very quickly. So touch on those.
You're absolutely correct. I've been with my dentist for many, many years, and she's never said, you know, you go in, you get your teeth cleaned, or she's addressing an issue or whatever. But that particular time, she was just like, what are you doing? Your gums just look absolutely beautiful. And I was explaining to her that I had, you know, begun this program, and I was working with you and the anti-inflammatory diet. And she just said, just keep going. You know, it just looks great. Another thing that was an eye opener for me, and this has been all my life. My legs have been heavy, and I blamed it on just a family trait. And by the end of the day, every day, my ankles would be so swollen. It was just amazing. And I could feel the legs of my pants getting tighter as the day went on. When I was on this anti-inflammatory, when I started, within, I'd say a week, or not even 2 weeks, I'm trying to think back, but that reduced incredibly. It was amazing to me that I just, you know, I had gotten, I don't know, suggestions, work harder, more cardio, do this, do that. And I did all that, but it never changed my legs. I may have lost 10, 20 pounds, which came back on, but my legs never changed, which I thought was interesting. And I have cousins with the same issue, and I never put two and two together. But now I don't mind wearing a pair of shorts. I don't mind, you know, as you know, we went on vacation in January, and I didn't mind, you know, wearing some things that I would never wear in the past. So for me, I think it was just the anti-inflammatory benefits. My rings, I can fit them on every day, where there were some days where, oh, nope, can't wear them today. So it was just a big eye opener.
So something that you touched on that's so important to me is that you said, people always said, go work harder, eat less, do more, this, that, and the other. One of the things that makes me so proud of what we do is that we're one of the only groups out there that say, don't do that. Stop and listen to your body for the first time in your life and just be quiet. Don't force anything. You don't have to work out hard. You don't have to undereat. You just have to listen to your body. But in order to do that, you have to be quiet enough, still enough, and open enough to be like, okay, I don't have to force these things on my body. I can actually listen to it, fuel it, and it's going to give me everything that I want from it. And so that's something that we're really trying to break, that stereotype of, you failed, you didn't do enough, you didn't work out hard enough, you're eating too much. We want it to be about, you listen to your body. Congratulations on that.
Yeah, it is amazing. I can honestly say I didn't work. I walked, but I didn't walk every day. Because again, with the stress of being diagnosed a second time, it's just a lot. So I did not what I would traditionally call workout every day, you know, which it was just amazing to me. And I have friends that would say, well, what did you do? You know, did you eat salads? And I'm like, yeah, salad's in there, but no, that's not what you have to pay attention to what things are cooked in, what type of oils, how does your body react, exactly like you instructed me to, which, you know, in the beginning is like, oh, all right, I've never thought of that, but that really works. It does. I mean, 35 pounds came off, and
in crisis mode, done the right way, where a lot of people come to us very sick, very ill, very frustrated, very overweight, and they're like, I've tried everything, nothing works. And I can tell you, something does work, but you have to heal and repair your body first. You have to take the time to do that. You can't skip over that process. We created the 6-week Nourish and Restore program for breast cancer clients specifically. And I was talking to a friend the other day, and I was telling her about the program, and she said, what would you say to your aunt, your mother, your cousin, your sister, if she was recently diagnosed with breast cancer or any cancer? And I said, I would say the same thing that I would say to one of my clients that wanted to lose weight or avoid getting cancer. I would say, change the environment. Change the environment inside your body, because cancer loves a sick body, because a body that's not functioning properly is a cancer free-for-all. And so if you change the environment of your body, you can reduce the risk of cancer and heal faster and better, because you're not putting obstacles in there that are chronically slowing it down. So across the board, we don't want you to just rely on screenings. We want you to prevent. We want you to be smart about what you're doing to your body and really connecting the pieces here about what you put in really does have an impact. And truthfully, you're now in the driver's seat of your health, and it must feel really good to have some control over that piece.
It does, because I think we're all busy with life, and you go along thinking you're in control, but you're really not, because there's so much noise outside coming in that you have to really, like you said, take a step back, be quiet, listen to your body. And that's what I never did before. I never really did. And going through what we're going through now with cancer, and then as I talked, we just moved and I'm going through all of this. So there's a lot of stress, and I got out of whack for a little bit, but I know how to return. I have a schedule to return in a couple of days, and I'm back on that program because I remember how good it felt and how in control I felt. You know, even during my checkups with my oncologist, she looked at the weight and she said, you know, are you not eating? She was kind of in a panic at first. And I said, oh, I'm eating. I said, but I'm eating correctly. I said, and I did say, that's what's missing in this program. I said, you know, you're a wonderful medical doctor and you're guiding me down this path, but there's no nutrition end of it. You can send me to a nutritionist, but there's really no understanding. I didn't get the understanding. So I said, if I need to bring something to the table, I even wrote a review to the medical board at the hospital, and gave them these ideas that, you know, as a patient, I feel lost in that aspect. And, you know, I'm taking this medication. Is that even a good idea? I don't know. That's a road I need to go down. But as far as feeling better and in control, absolutely. This program is it's just amazing. And for me to lose 35 pounds and not exercise, that's plus.
And let's touch on that really quick, because that is a functioning body. A body that functions properly doesn't have to store fat. So if your body is doing all of the right things, working the way it's supposed to, you're fueling it properly, it's going to give you exactly what you want. It's just that 99% of people are stuck in this battle with their body, doing the same old habits or deprivation or eating things that just do not support what they're trying to do. So I understand the frustration that women have with their bodies, but it doesn't have to be that way, because we've created a system that shuts out the noise, that helps you really kind of get connected to your body and help you understand, so you can hear that voice for the first time, even 50, 60 years after doing diets and whatnot. So this is, and thank you for reaching out to the board and giving that message, because that's going to help somebody, whether they refer to us, whether they create their own plan. We're just trying to get as many women as healthy and as powerful as possible, so that we can keep this type of conversations going and educating more and more people. So I greatly appreciate you. I'm so happy that you're here with us. And I hope that as you go through this process and you continue to go through, and you find little pieces that you want to share with us and share with the group, that you do, because there's no bigger expert out there than you at this moment.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for giving me just a new outlook on life. Because again, and I'm 68 years old, and you reach this point in your life and you just say, okay, you just want to give up, but you can't give up. You know, there's people depending on you, and there's a lot of life to live. I have a lot to do. So you gave me that chance to do it in a better way.
Well, thank you. All right. Well, I'm going to let you get back to your brand new house. You're moving, and back to your new plan to get back on track after a few days of being discombobulated with everything going on. But we will talk again soon. So thank you again.
Sounds good. Take care.
You too.
Bye-bye.